Do you believe in energy healing?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you believe in energy healing?
Yeah, in some things I do, but I don't know if it works for everything. I don't know.
Do you believe or have you ever heard of energy healing?
Yes, I have, actually.
Do you believe in energy healing?
I've heard of it. I haven't really had any direct experience with it.
Have you incorporated it in your own life?
No.
I've had that done, and it's been very, very helpful in the past.
I know a nurse who used it with patients, and she said she did have some good results.
Many doctors have actually seen rather unusual events.
Well, see, I don't know that much about it yet,
So I guess I'm not really sure.
Have you ever heard about the specific modality called quantum touch?
I haven't heard of quantum touch. I've heard of healing touch.
Have you ever witnessed or read about miracles, more or less, where science cannot explain?
I have a background in the martial arts, and there I have seen some people do some rather amazing things.
I think I would like to believe in those things.
Absolutely, and I am always exploring things like healing touch.
I think I like to keep an open mind.
Oh, I definitely have an open mind.
Good evening, and welcome to Dinner with Dorann, Food for the Soul. This evening, we are at a lovely Italian restaurant called Eclissi in downtown Skokie, Illinois. The owner and chef, Ruben, has studied in Italy for many years to incorporate the best concepts for true fine Italian cuisine. And they have a wide array of different dishes to satisfy anyone's palate. Also, they have a beautiful outdoor patio to enjoy when the weather is nice. Please check it out. You are in for a real treat. And now I would like to introduce my esteemed guest, Mr. Barret Hedeen, author, public speaker, and energy healer who conducts workshops here in Skokie and all over the greater Chicagoland area. Barret incorporates a unique modality to facilitate mind-body healing so we can all live our lives on purpose, in prosperity, and joy. So, without further ado, welcome to the show, Barret.
Thanks, Dorann. It's great to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. How did you get started in energy healing?
Well, I did start as a massage therapist, and as I was doing massage, I started to notice that there was more happening than just working with the muscles and the tissue. There was one session where I was doing some energy healing during the session, and I felt like the client's heart was actually expanding. And then after the session, she said she had the same feeling. And so I knew that there was something deeper going on. And it had led me to continue studying energy healing, and it led me to developing the techniques that I do now, which is called the witness energy healing.
I understand initially you employed a modality called quantum touch. And can you tell us the differences between the witness and quantum touch?
Quantum touch is a healing modality that originated in California, and it's very user-friendly. Anyone can buy the book called Quantum Touch and begin to learn how to do energy healing themselves. So as I was doing that, I began to kind of go beyond what I was learning, and that's how it developed into my own style. So quantum touch is really all about manipulating the energy to kind of find that healing. And the witness takes it to a whole other level. The witness is really all about witnessing the perfection that's already within the person. And by witnessing that perfection, then the things that are not perfect are allowed to come forward and to leave. And then it's in that leaving that the healing can happen. One of my specialties is helping people with their life's purpose. So if people are feeling stuck around what to do in their life, like how to actually live from their heart, we can look at what's in the way, what's getting in the way of you living the life that really makes you happy.
Right. So, Barret, for people that come to you, do workshops, but also one-on-one energy healings, even over the phone?
Even over the phone, yeah.
A person can call you and you can pick up on their energy.
Exactly, and it fits with what we were talking about before, is I can help the person I'm working with tune into what's going on in their energy. So I can help them see things that maybe they're not wanting to look at, and then I can help them move through that. So it's all about ultimately not just finding the parts that are stuck, but finding and releasing those parts. Because, if you're just going to the stuck spots all the time, that's not really a whole lot of fun, But if you go to it and you move through it, then you can find that peace. You can find that greater sense of happiness, that greater sense of aliveness. And again, you can live your life from that place of yes.
The universe always says yes, right?
Right, yeah. The universe is always saying yes to you. The only issue is a lot of times people are not saying yes to the universe. And so what we need to do is we need to start saying yes to that. We need to start saying yes to all the things that light us up. As long as we're, invested more in maybe the things that are anxiety producing than the things that make us say yes, then we have work to do. I can help you see some things maybe you're not kind of conscious of. Why am I getting stuck? Why is this pattern keep repeating for me? And how can I move beyond it? And that's kind of where the techniques that I do are really effective in isolating and identifying what the issue is so that people then can find that peace, find that joy.
Barret, along those lines, isn't it that we should, no matter what is happening in a person's life, it should be embraced? Is that part of the saying yes to the universe?
Yeah, we can't deny what's happening in our life. There's going to be things that are great, and there's going to be things that are not so great. And we really do need to accept all of it. And that's actually a thing that a lot of people have struggles with, is they don't accept the things that are not so great. And so one of the things that can be helpful is to really look at it, to really see the ways that you're angry, that you're hurt, that you're dealing with these shadow parts of ourselves. Because as long as the shadow is hidden, then it kind of leads from behind. It can affect our life even in ways that we don't really want. And so when we bring the shadow forward, when we look at these emotions that a lot of people struggle with, then we can actually start to choose something else.
How do you protect yourself from, being influenced by negative people that might inadvertently, they may not mean to be, but they have a negative effect on your psyche?
The most important thing we can do around people who are kind of negatively affecting us is we can change the way that we perceive them. Because generally, if they're causing us problems, if they seem to be causing us issues in some way, then we're seeing them as a problem. And really what we're not seeing is we're not seeing their light, their love, their joy, their true nature. And the more that we can begin to see them from that deeper place, to see what I would call the Christ that is within that person, because really it's within all of us.
Yes.
To be able to see that there, it changes the whole dynamic. All of a sudden they're not someone who's attacking you, someone who's sucking your energy. They're someone who maybe doesn't know how to deal with their own pain. And then the whole dynamic changes, and it's no longer affecting that person in the same way. So
that might be a tough one for many people. I guess it's worth trying to.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. There's no doubt about that.
And what about someone who is suffering with a malady of some sort? Is it stuck energy that needs to be released?
Yeah, the mind is where all the healing happens. Our body is actually energy too. It doesn't really look like it. We don't think of it as energy, but even physicists will tell you that matter is actually just condensed energy.
Right.
We are 100% energy. So working on the energetic level can lead to changes on the physical level. It is definitely possible for people to have physical changes, and it's really about getting in touch with the choice made on that deeper level to have some sort of illness or to have some sort of issue, and then realizing that there's a different choice that can be made. But even if the physical doesn't seem to change, what does change is people's experience of it. So even if an illness doesn't, say, actually leave completely, what happens is there's a greater peace around the experience. There's a greater acceptance. That's a gift as well.
Barret, can you give us a couple of brief success stories that you've had?
Well, again, as I mentioned before, I've had people that came with physical issues, like a knee that was bothering them or a back issue, and by the end of the session, they walked out and they couldn't believe how much better they felt. I even had someone I was working with who'd had a back issue for years and years and years and tried all kinds of different things and never had any success. But then after the session, he felt relief for the first time in a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
So those were a few on a physical plane. Have you any, as far as like you mentioned, we're all looking for our soul purpose. Anyone come Cleopatra or something when after they saw you? Or
Well, in a sense, yeah. Because what that Cleopatra is that's the yes. That's the really happy, joyful part of us. So a lot of clients that I've worked with have found that greater purpose in themselves, and they found the willingness to really step into it and to really own it for themselves. And that's really the passion that I have, because there's nothing more fulfilling to me than to help someone make that shift in their life. I have a package of sessions. It's called From Boredom to Busting Loose, because a lot of people have that experience where we're stuck, we're kind of bored, we're not really happy, but it's kind of
nothing's
like,
really wrong, but things are just not moving.
Exactly. And you can stay in that place for a long time. But what happened for me in my life at a certain point is I busted loose. I was like, this healing is really my passion. Working with people to help them in their passions is my passion. And I busted loose into it, and now I have this practice that really makes me happy, and I lead these workshops where I can really see the shifts that people make, and the feedback I get
It's very rewarding.
It's really inspiring. Yeah, it's beautiful.
On a different note, you are an author, a published author, and it is your book is Questions for Jay.
That's right. Yeah.
We all know who Jay is. We should.
Yeah. This is actually my book.
Yes.
Is Questions for Jay. It's a small book. It fits in your pocket. It's nice to take with you wherever you want. It's really a collection of questions that I asked to Jay, which is short for Jesus. Jesus is my inner guide. And then after I asked these questions, I felt words come through. And so I recorded it in the book. So the real message of the book is that our true nature is love. It's always love. And that we can, when we're not feeling that love, we can choose differently. It's always about the choices that we make in our life. Can we choose love more consistently? And if we do choose love more consistently, then our experience will be one that is more loving. And it's always about saying yes to ourselves.
Yes. Barret, I understand you're also working on another book. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be called Poems for Jay. So it's, again, in the same kind of theme. It's going to be another pocket-sized book, but this one is going to be all a collection of poetry. And it's poetry that's really written to Jay and about that interconnection with our light. It's going to be coming out in the beginning of 2013, and I'm really excited to share it. I've gotten a lot of great feedback.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Barret, I wanted to ask about your website and how people can contact you for one-on-one session or your workshops.
My website is barrethedeen.com. And you can also reach me directly at my phone number. It's 847-951-6328. Always happy to hear from people and to hear how people are doing in their lives, because we're all on a journey, and that's really what my work is about. Is it's realizing how we're on this journey together, and it's a lot more fun when we can take the journey with someone else. And that's what brings me joy, is to be with people on their journey and to help them take the steps into living that life that really is a yes for them, that really makes them excited and makes them have a smile that's as big as yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, your energy must be affecting me. Barret, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dorann.
It's been such a pleasure, and I am so impressed. I'm going to schedule a session with you.
Great. To say a final thought, whenever you're feeling lonely or afraid, don't be afraid to reach out. There's always someone there to help you. And sometimes it takes a little courage to reach a hand out, but do it. It's good for you, and it's actually good for the person you're reaching out to as well.
So thank you all for watching for this episode of Dinner with Dorann, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye now.